Sambola Vinaka, Namaste, and welcome to this episode of Super Rugby Fijians. As we bring you our heroes in Super Rugby, this week on the show, we will take a look at Ben Volavola, who made a debut in the Waratahs last season. But due to injuries, he's been in the extended squad this year. But before that, let's take a look at some of the sensational tries scored by our heroes in the games played last weekend.
And they do use the blindside, and here is Dennis, the captain sprinting, and he scores it, Dave Dennis.
They reset well. Livavi's got it in the back. They surge towards the line, they're over the line, it's a try.
It's under the post, there's the try. He had a run tonight. Intercept. Oh, and here we go. Osborne. He can see the run coming. Davies is flying. Osborne! Over! What a try, what a chase.
Now you must be surprised of our whereabouts. Yes, we are here at the Fiji Sports Council, Damora City Aquatic Centre, with the inspiring future Super Rugby player Rodney, who's making his laps here at the pool. So how was that, Rodney?
John, I'll tell you what, that was intense. 5 consecutive laps of swimming.
Wait a minute. You just swam one lap. You swam from that end to this end.
What you mean, bro? That was 5 laps.
Bro, I was here counting.
I think you're just jealous because I'm fit, mate.
Why would I be jealous of you? I'm the only one here cheering you on, bro.
No, you're jealous.
Now, come on, you better continue with the other 4 laps. But before that, let's join our inside man Vashnil Prasad, who was with Ben Volavola and the Waratahs in Sydney.
Bolavinaka, I'm Vashnil Prasad. We are in Sydney. Ben Volavola is the only Fijian being part of Waratah's side this season. We caught up with him as he explains about his performance in the new season.
I was born here in Sydney, and then Mum and I moved, while I was a baby, we moved to Suva. And I went to primary school at Viutor Primary and started playing my first sort of rugby in Viutor. And then the year 2000, my mum got an opportunity to study here. So we came together with my younger brother, and in 2000 we just started primary school here in Sydney, then continued on to secondary school at Endeavour Sports High with my brother, and then I got an opportunity to go to a private school for rugby at Newington College, and then from there just joined rugby club, Southern Districts, West Harbour and stuff, and just made my way up the grades and got an opportunity here. My younger brother, who has also just finished uni, his first year of uni, he's doing accounting. And my mum she's working at the moment and also studying to be an immigration lawyer. First of all, I had an internal trial against 3 other guys, and Michael Checker sort of gave me a call and told me that there was a trial. And luckily enough, he gave me the opportunity to be in the main squad and gave me the contract. And then just throughout last off-season, I sort of just had to put my best foot forward, and I got the opportunity to be selected in the Reds and get some time against the Reds. It was shocking at first. I didn't even think I'd get the contract at first, and then getting the contract, I wouldn't think I'd ever get picked in the top 23. And then getting time on the field, it was sort of, it was shocking to me and a big surprise. But having my family in there and stuff, it was amazing. At the time, it didn't really feel too special because we were just concentrating on the job, and we were behind at that point. And after that try, it sort of got us closer, and but I think after the game and I joined my family, it sort of settled in. They're very supportive. Mum and my brother, they're here every home game, and even with games interstate, they try to get to as well. So I'm very lucky to have family that are very supportive. And in Fiji, I'm always getting calls and texts or Facebook messages, just letting me know that the family there are supportive as well, so I'm very blessed. Yes, I have. The last time I was there was in December, during Christmas and New Year's. So I was in Suva spending time with my aunties, uncles, first cousins, also my grandparents, and I also spent some time with my girlfriend's mum and her side of the family in Nandi. Oh, not anytime soon, still young, still 23, so that's not on the cards anytime soon. I've got my personal training certificate, certificate 3 and 4, which I completed 2 years ago. And I also completed my diploma in business as well. And this year I'm going to start uni again. I had sort of a break last year and just concentrate on my rugby. This year I'm going to start uni again and study sports science and exercise. I'd have to say I had to pick from my dad, my mum or my brother. They're probably my biggest fans, and my girlfriend as well. So they're always on my tail to do better or to go to sleep earlier so I can train better. So they're always supportive, and they're probably my biggest fans. I played basketball when I was younger. My father also played basketball, so that was a big sport that I sort of followed as well. Christian Cullen was a big one. Playing fullback, I loved watching him play and how he ran, and also playing 5'8". I watched a lot of Stephen Larkham, and now with Dan Carter as well, who's probably one of the #1 5'8" going around the world, so they're probably the biggest three. For Super Rugby, it'd definitely have to be my debut, and scoring that try would probably be up there. I think now having something that I love as a job and doing something that I love as a job, every day training is something I enjoy, and being in a team sort of just full of superstars I enjoy every day.
And yes, we are continuing our texting competition. If you're a Super Rugby fan, you could be in to win a Crusaders jersey. Just text in your answer to the following question. Who is the Flying Fijians winger in the Crusaders team this year? Text to 3597 to go into the draw to win that jersey. We will even have that player autograph that jersey for you. We will announce the winner in next week's show. So, get texting today.
Welcome back. Well, that was a bit about Ben Volavola. Now, we are here at the tracks, and we can see Rodney trying to gauge his fitness here on the tracks. Why don't we just have a chat with him? Hey, Rodney, now tell me something, bro. We just came back from the aquatic center. You completed your laps.
Yeah.
Now we're here on the tracks. You're trying to gauge your fitness. Now, which part of your body are you trying to get fitness on, bro?
Well, John, right now I'm just focusing on my lower half of the body,
Okay.
especially my legs and my thighs.
Yep.
I don't want to pull my hamstring. It might stop me from scoring a try. Just imagine near the try line, and if I pull my hamstring, might cost the team.
Well, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right there, Rodney.
Yeah, so that's what I'm focusing on.
Okay. Well, let's join Vashnil Prasad again, who is with Ben Volavola.
It was very normal. I had a normal childhood back then, just like any other Fijian family or child. It was just playing, finishing school, playing around the streets in Fiji and Suva. And then here, it was the same. I just had a very normal childhood, and then being in this environment, this professional sort of sporting environment sort of changes. You have a lot of responsibilities and things to concentrate on, and you got to tweak a few things to stay at this level, I guess, and it's very different to having a normal sort of life. You definitely got to sacrifice a few things. Time is a big one. You got to sacrifice a lot of time to put in the hard work, and if you want to be the best or be at this level, you got to sacrifice a lot of time, and your morals that you were brought up with, I think, is an important thing, and being humble takes you a long way too. So I think time and just staying grounded and humble is a big thing that will help you to stay at a top level. In New Zealand, I couldn't really talk about playing rugby in New Zealand because I haven't played in New Zealand. I played against New Zealand when I was in the under-20 squad, and then while I was at school, I played against a few schools there. But in Fiji, it's very different to playing here. It's a very structured game here, and although here at the Waratahs we back our natural abilities, as in Fiji it's very loose, and we lean up against our natural abilities, and here in Australia it's sort of a lot of structured, and a lot of coaching goes into our game here. Different kinds of training. Our sports and conditioning coaches are very good at changing our trainings to match each position, and I think it's just the way our trainings are structured. with the backs, we might have a different conditioning session to the forwards, but then at the same time, we also combine the conditioning sessions so that we're all together. But like I said before, the game just continues to quicken and get faster, and throughout the years, it tends to be that throughout the off season we just train harder, and it's very busy during the week with our training sessions. We might have 2 to 3 training sessions a day, and we'll train from during the season we'll train from Monday to Friday, depending on whether we play on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. So it can vary in different weeks. But here at the Tars, we pride ourselves on being punctual and on time and stuff. So we might have 6 to 8 training sessions a week, which is pretty busy. Playing fullback and 5'8" is sort of very similar. You can take control of the team and sort of boss the forwards around, and with fly half I like having that control, but with fullback as well, having that space to work with I enjoy as well. Definitely the Wallabies. Growing up watching Stephen Larkham, I always dreamt to play in the position that he played in for the Wallabies, and being raised here while I was very young, I've always dreamt to play for the Wallabies. However, if that opportunity doesn't arise, then playing for my country, for Fiji, would be a big dream come true as well. The Super Rugby competition as a whole is very tough. You don't get easy games at all these days. A lot of teams are just neck and neck, and each and every week is a tough week, so you've got to prepare well and prepare well mentally as well each and every week, because every team could really cause an upset. I played with Tavita, who's from the Brumbies and who also had a great year last year with the Wallabies, and also Chris, who's a new signing for the Reds as well. I've also played with him as well. Don't really talk too much, but when we do, it's sort of like we've seen each other every day. There's no awkwardness or anything, and I think that's just like a normal conversation that you have with fellow Fijians. It's normal. It's not awkward, and you just have fun when you're together. We sort of just talk. There hasn't been an opportunity where we can meet after the games, unfortunately, but we have a good time just talking on the field after the games and messaging each other on social network. That anything can be possible. I think through hard work and prayer, anything can be possible. Just like those kids that are in Fiji now that could be watching this, I was there at one stage, just going through school, living a normal life that a normal Fijian kid would do. And through hard work and prayer, I've been blessed with opportunities that you should just take and make the most of, and I think anything can be possible through that.
And yes, we are continuing our texting competition. If you're a Super Rugby fan, you could be in to win a Crusaders jersey. Just text in your answer to the following question. Who is the Flying Fijians winger in the Crusaders team this year? Text to 3597 to go into the draw to win that jersey. We will even have that player autograph that jersey for you. We will announce the winner in next week's show. So, get texting today.
Welcome back. Well, Rodney, you're beginning to freak me out, bro. What are we doing here?
Well, bro, first of all, I took you to the swimming pool.
Oh, yeah.
That was for my endurance.
Okay.
Then I took you to the stadium, focusing on my thighs so I don't pull my hamstring.
Oh, there, your hamstring, yeah.
While I'm going to score that very important try.
Yep.
To win the game.
Yeah.
Now I'm focusing on my arms.
Okay.
Just trying to strengthen the muscles around it so I can fend people around in the ground.
Well-
Like Nemani Nandolo.
Okay, well, first of all, do you know how to use this equipment, bro?
Yeah. You know what, John?
Yeah?
I think I have to put my legs here, my hand here and stretch something like that, but I'm
Well,
complicated, but
I think you have to read the manual. Okay. Let's join Vaishnav Prasad, who is with Ben Volavola's granddad and namesake, Penny Volavola.
When Ben was born, she was named after me. They came and asked if Ben could carry my name, and I said, yeah, of course. He's my grandson. Be very proud. And I'm glad that you sort of think that Ben should carry my name. And so there you are. It's the band that he has. Also, because of what I said, there's links to Emma's maternal side. He's kept his roots here in Fiji because of that early upbringing. If you talk with Ben, I'm sure you must have had the impression that he's always very quiet, and that was the way that he was brought up, always sitting and listening. You know, the old adage that children are just to be seen and not heard. He'd taken that very seriously. When you sit with Ben, you hardly hear him talk. Even now that he has gone to that level of rugby, very high level of rugby, which I'm of course proud, he still carries with him that character of always being quiet. He's always been very skillful, very silky in some of his moves, even at a very young age. And I'm really not surprised that he has gone to Super Rugby level, simply because of what I saw in him during his very early ages. When he was at school, at Volavola Primary, he enjoyed playing rugby there, and we sort of encouraged him to go on and play rugby and perhaps reach the level that he has reached now. We didn't even dream that he was going to go right up to this level, but we always encouraged him, you know, anything that he wanted to enjoy, to do it. His mother actually told us beforehand that he had gone through a selection process with the Waratahs coach, and he actually sent us via Facebook. He sent us via Facebook some messages that came through during his trials when he went through the selection process. And one of the comments that struck my attention was how the coach, the Waratahs coach, said that Ben's got so much raw talents that you simply can't ignore. When he was called in to be a member of the Waratahs squad, they had their first training run as a member of the Waratahs squad, and he sent me his jersey, his training jersey. I still keep it there, the drawer, and simply put down there, "To my rat too."
What does it mean? An emotional thing for you?
Yes, when I saw it, I felt very emotional about it, because all the years before that seemed to just come before my eyes. You know, I just sort of visualize the kind of person he was from a very young child now to this stage where he is now a very well-known figure. I spoke to his mother actually, who updated me about the injury that he had. He had a broken cheekbone or probably jawbone. He was injured in one of those rugby practice matches that they were doing. You know how it is. Pardon?
Pre-season.
Yes. I don't know whether it was a pre-season match or whether they were training. Because I understand that from him that when they train, it's like a real rugby match is going on. During his young days, when he was still at school, they had a tour of New Zealand, and he was given a nickname of Gazelle. Do you know the Gazelle? One of those swift-legged wild animals that roam the forest, in huge forests abroad. Gazelle. It's like a deer, swift as a deer. He was nicknamed the Gazelle simply because of his silky rugby styles. I think grandparents also play a vital role in the upbringing of young children. There's so many social issues now in Fiji that old people, grandparents, we hear horrific stories of grandparents violate the trust given on them by their children, their grandchildren. I think it's a big lesson for people my age, older people who are now grandparents, to be role models to their grandchildren by showing them what values that they should keep, what values they should look to, and particularly Christian values, family values, values of honesty, values of whatever talents that God has given you, make the most of it. Go for it.
And yes, we are continuing our texting competition. If you're a Super Rugby fan, you could be in to win a Crusaders jersey. Just text in your answer to the following question. Who is the Flying Fijians winger in the Crusaders team this year? Text to 3597 to go into the draw to win that jersey. We will even have that player autograph that jersey for you. We will announce the winner in next week's show. So, get texting today.
Well, that brings us to the end of the show.
We wish Neman Nandolo and the Flying Fijians all the best against Italy this weekend.
And don't forget, coming up next week, we'll bring you our Pacific Island brothers, Sekopi Kepu, Peter Bitham, and Cliff Palau coming up in the show next week. Until then,
Namaste.
and Nisamode.
This program is brought to you in partnership with Fiji Bitter, the real taste of Fiji, and Pacific Energy, fuel up and save.